Izuku Midoriya narrates the emergence of widespread superpowers called quirks, which eventually become the norm, and the occupation of hero begins as numerous heroes in the present come to the rescue against Noseface, including Kamui Woods and Mountain Lady. Fast forward to Midoriya's classroom, the pompous-ass Bakugo shows his intent to go to the prestigious UA High, a top hero high school, as does Midoriya. Bakugo later bullies Midoriya as he flashes back to himself as a psycho kid watching the #1 hero All Might gleaming with inspiration and the utter devastation of learning of his own quirklessness. Luckily he has Best Mom, and back to present he is attacked by a slime monster but saved by All Might. Midoriya hilariously fanboys out asking if he can become a hero without a quirk. The kid won't stop blabbing as All Might continuously tries to leave and deflates into some decrepit person. All Might explains that he deflates due to sustaining an injury 5 years ago during a battle and can only hero for 3 hours a day, and that Midoriya should not try to become a quirkless hero. Later, Bakugo gets attacked by the slime monster from before while Deflate Might heads to the scene. Multiple heroes take on the threat to no avail while Bakugo is absorbed by the monster, and All Might kicks himself for not being able to help in his deflate state. Midoriya unintentionally arrives on scene, and seeing Bakugo in trouble, his body moves all on its own to try to help, showing the boy's true nature, which inspires All Might to push himself and defeat the monster, saving the day with a smile. Later, Bakugo confronts Deku, as he calls him, showing his animosity for what he did, and afterward All Might surprisingly shows as well and tells Deku that he can become a hero, causing Deku to cry with overwhelming emotion. All Might explains that his powers are passed down from one person to the next and that the young man is worthy of inheriting the power one for all. Later they begin a training regime in which Deku must strengthen his body by cleaning up a beach so his body doesn't explode from the power, and must do so by the UA entrance exam. What follows is a spectacular training montage with an excellent score culminating in our young hero finishing the task in the nick of time. He then eats one of All Might's hairs to obtain the power, and then arrives at UA hilariously tripping, being saved by a nice girl, and proceeds to the exam briefing. The entrance exam begins, comprised of battling different robot villains for points, but also giant robot obstacles actually worth 0 points and meant to be avoided. Midoriya struggles to keep up, not eliminating a single foe when a gigantic robot obstacle appears, trapping the nice girl from earlier. Once again, his heroism kicks into gear, as well as does his power as he catapults himself into the air to smash the giant robot, saving the girl. Unfortunately, he didn't plan for landing, so falls to almost certain doom, realizing that his legs and punching arm is broken. Luckily for him, Nice Girl is there to slap him in the face, causing him to float, saving him. Time, however, runs out, leaving him pointless and broken. Luckily, Recovery Girl heals him up good as new. 1 week later, Midoriya mopes around his house while his mom tries to pick up his spirits, waiting for the entrance exam results. The results arrive as a message from All Might, who explains that they were also graded by rescue points, which Deku receives 60, passing the exam. The first day of high school begins and we are introduced to Class A, including Bakugo and Nice Girl. Aizawa, aka Eraserhead, the teacher, plans a competitive fitness test for the class, saying that he'll expel whoever comes in last, while Deku struggles to figure out how his power works. During the ball toss, Aizawa uses his power, erasing Deku's quirk, to tell him that his power is useless if it renders him immobile after using it. So, Midoriya channels his power through just his finger during the ball toss, showing his ingenuity and power, throwing the ball super duper far. Aizawa shows the results of their test, in which Midoriya is somehow last still and faces expulsion, but turns out Eraserhead was lying, so the nerd is still in. Later, he exposits daily life at the school while meeting Ochako, the nice girl from earlier, and Ida, beginning All Might's class, who has become a teacher there. They all don their hero costumes and begin an interesting training exercise, which the class is split into teams of 2, one team playing the heroes and the other team playing the villains, pitting Deku and Ochako versus Bakugo and Ida as the villains. Bakugo shows increasing frustration that Deku might have been hiding his quirk, while Deku shows to Ochako that even though Bakugo is a bully, he still admires him, and the battle between Bakugo and Midoriya begins. The training exercise continues and Midoriya does surprisingly well, refusing to use his quirk. Childhood flashbacks show Deku looking up to Kacchan, as he calls him, while he gets his quirk and is naturally gifted, while Kacchan, to his utter satisfaction, looks down on Deku at his lack thereof. Bakugo begins to get the upper hand in the fight while Ochako tries to win against Ida. Finally, Deku decides to use his quirk, but only in a plan with Ochako so she could win the day, resulting in victory for the heroes. All Might regrets not stopping the training match sooner due to the danger, while Recovery Girl struggles to help Deku recover from his injuries, and All Might reveals that only a few people know of the secret to his power. After school, Midoriya catches up with Kacchan, revealing that he received his power from someone else and that he wasn't hiding it, vowing that he will make it his own and beat him with it. Bakugo expresses his frustration at having lost and vows to become the #1 hero and walks off. Midoriya is elected as class rep and a level 3 security breach alarm sounds, causing panic among the student body, but it turns out to just be the press to no one's knowledge. Ida manages to calm everyone down, and Midoriya passes his class rep position to Ida, while teachers ponder the mystery of who destroyed the front gate, letting the media in. The students then begin their rescue training exercise, but before they could even start, a number of villains appear out of nowhere. Eraserhead jumps in to battle the villains quite skillfully so the students could escape, but the villain Kodogiri teleports the students throughout the compound, stating that they are after All Might. Cut to All Might, who unfortunately has used up all of his time in muscle form, has a chat with the principal, keeping him from getting to the compound, ignorant of what is going on there. Back with the students, Deku, Tsuyu, and Ballhead think of a way past the villains surrounding them, and their strategy works at the cost of Midoriya's finger, using a Delaware smash and lots of Midena's balls. The other students defend against the villains, some doing better than others, as Aizawa loses steam against his opponents, losing use of his arm against Shigaraki, the main villain, and his quirk, and falling to a monster. Ida, meanwhile, escapes the compound to get help, causing Shiragaki to call off the assault, but not before attacking Tsuyu. Fortunately, Eraserhead is just barely able to erase his quirk, giving Midoriya a chance to smash, this time surprisingly without breaking his arm. Unfortunately, it didn't connect as the monster blocked the punch. In the tensest of moments, just as it seems that all hope is lost, All Might epically appears, stating, "Don't worry, I am here." All Might begins his conquest of the villains, getting Eraserhead and the kids to safety until the monster Nomu steps in to brawl. As Midoriya expresses his stress about All Might's time limit, which he has reached, Nomu, with the help of Kodogiri, wounds All Might in his weak spot, and they reveal their plan to cut him in half via portal. However, the students have other plans and save All Might from his predicament. Nomu, who had been frozen by Todoroki's quirk, breaks apart but reveals his regeneration as Shiragaki boasts about his monster, who is designed to take All Might at 100%. The heroes prepare for round 2, but All Might vigors up, the shockwaves of punching Nomu's shock-absorbing body blowing everyone back, with one beyond 100% punch to the next, as he goes beyond Plush Ultra for the final attack, punching Nomu into the stratosphere. All Might stands there having nothing left as Shiragaki expresses his frustration, stating that he got bad information and All Might is not weaker at all. They, however, resolve themselves to attack once more. At his limit, All Might can do nothing but stand there and watch as death comes for him, praying that the other heroes will make it there in time. Just before Shiragaki accomplishes his goal, Midoriya swoops in, having broken 2 of his legs, readying another attack, but Shiragaki is too fast, preparing his own counteroffensive, and just before his hand touches the kid's face, it is shot by the hero Snipe. Backup has arrived, and the day is saved. Shiragaki resents his failure, running away as the heroes recover, and Season 1 ends with a tease for Season 2 for My Hero Academia.